Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to LEGO Space. So you guys can see that the stern is nearly disassembled, but before I completely disassembled it, I wanted to show you guys some of the things that I did uh, when I first built it to kind of enhance some of the function and the look of things, some of the details. Um, Sadly, a lot of this is going to go away once I start introducing the mock parts and everything. But some of it we'll be able to keep. The more visual stuff we'll be able to keep, and I do lose a little bit of functionality, which I am going to see if I can fix that in the rebuild, but we'll see. Um, so starting off, you guys can see my engines. You guys have seen my engines before. I've kind of walked through these, just how different they are compared to what LEGO has you build. I wanted something that looked a lot more prototypical, a little bit more detail. We'll just pull those out for now. And then the engine room itself, basically a replica of what's in the back end of the middle section, the section that sits up against this, which creates an entire engine room when closed. Sadly, you can't see it when it's together, but it's there. So, and then something I tried doing, and I've showed this before, where I built the turbine area up and try to detail it, and to where you guys could actually see the turbine a little bit. Now it is extremely hard to see, but with everything off, it is now visible. And there you guys can see, if I spin either one of these, everything spins, everything is geared together. Unlike what LEGO has you do, where each thing is kind of its own deal. There's really no way to spin the middle or the rudder prop unless you actually spin it from the rear. But the way I had this geared was to where everything would spin not only the correct direction, but also the correct speed. The middle shaft that has the turbines on it spins slightly faster. I've talked about this before, where if I spin it slow enough, you guys can kind of see that rudder prop is spinning slightly faster than the starboard and port props. And the starboard and port props spin opposite directions of each other. And that's prototypical per the real ship. And then I left the top of the turbine housing off to show off the gears that are supposed to be the turbine blades. And like I said, it's really hard to see. I did have faux pipes that came basically from the engines, giving the illusion of going back down into the turbine and feeding the turbine steam from these engines, like how the real one did. And then, of course, kind of built smooth tiled walkways around the whole thing. Really did a lot of work to make that a nice piece, even though you can't see really any of it. Even added a little detail for a wheel in there, for like a big valve wheel or something. And then what makes everything work, and it's a little hard to show off right here, is my gear tower that I created. And this was the hardest part, trying to fit it in a space that's continually narrowing as it goes back, with how the big sidewalls attached to it. Everything is going back, and you guys can see there is some protrusion out from the base, but those walls were built with enough thickness to where I could be very close to that and still clear it. That was one of my hurdles that I had to deal with building that. And then the next one was finding the right gear combination that would work and fit in there. That took me quite a few tries. Initially, I actually had a set of rubber band drives on this shaft that went to the middle shaft, and that's how I was running those two, but it did not link with the with the port engine, and I kind of wanted it to where everything worked together. No matter what you decided to spin, everything spins. So I had to get really creative, did a lot of trial and error of what worked, and finally found a gear combination that worked. One that spun the rudder prop quicker, but still spun it the same direction as the starboard prop, and then spinning the port prop in the opposite direction. So sadly, all that hard work's gonna go bye-bye. And there is a new gear system that's going in this that does make all three props spin. The only issue is they're all going to be spinning the same direction, and they're all going to be spinning the same speed. And I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to find a way to remedy that how I would like to, because I do like having everything be kind of working prototypically, and I love how it looks as you spin it. It looks really cool, especially when you slide an engine in and get it locked into place. I modified the fronts of these engines so that way they're a little bit kinder to spin. You're not grabbing onto a gear, you're just grabbing onto a spacer, and everything just spins really nice as it should. So like I said, I'm gonna take some time and see if I can change the gearing. Just no guarantees that I can, but I will try. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much everything that I put into the stern to get everything working properly. And you guys will see that I actually added some gold flowers in underneath the tombstone of the initials of the guy that used to work with Lego that was a big part of designing this ship. He no longer works with Lego. He actually has his own YouTube channel doing Lego now. But I still included that. I included flowers just to honor the tragedy itself and honor all who died in that. So nice little touch. I will see if I can add some gold flowers back into it. A lot of this area is going to change significantly because the rudder is actually going to become part of the mechanism, and will actually change direction per whatever direction you steer the ship. So that's actually really cool. There's going to be some more gearing in here and some more fun stuff that I'll have to work with and try to figure all that out. But I did this took the longest to figure out when I was building the whole ship the first time. A lot of my modifications on the other parts were mostly just color change. As you guys can see, a lot of light grays, dark grays, and then extra support. This had a lot more into it because I wanted to basically make an entire engine room, a turbine room, and then go through everything to include this gear tower that worked properly. And that was definitely the hardest part, was the gear tower. The rest of the stuff was pretty simple, brick build stuff that went together. I did kind of have to figure out a way to support the turbine properly while just having half the shell on there. It did take away from some of the rigidity in that, but I made it work really well. And it was a really cool feature. Like I said, it's from this angle, it's almost impossible, especially when my phone doesn't want to focus. It's really hard to see, but at certain angles with the flashlight you could see it. So all this is going to go away, which isn't, this area isn't a big deal for me because you can't really see it anyway. It is cool that I included it on this, but just with all the other gearing and everything that's going on in here, motors and everything, all that's going to go away. And I will just have to see what I can do with the gearing and hopefully come up with something. So just figured I'd show you guys this before I finish the teardown. This is kind of the highlight of the build originally. My engine room. I'm a big mechanical guy, so I really like engine rooms and mechanical stuff, and the whole stern of this ship just really was a fun, complicated, and sometimes struggle, but it was pretty fun to build all that. So yeah, I will finish tearing it apart, and I probably won't do another update until I have some significant build up going, and maybe even try to figure out some things with the gearing on the new version and show you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed the update, and until next time, take care.